You are listening to Fiction Fairies, two authors chasing joy and creativity. I'm author Amanda Torrey.
And I'm author Christine DePetrillo. Welcome to our podcast where we amplify joy, whimsy, and the magic of the written word. And today we also have special guest author Amy Patrick with us. So happy to have you, Amy. Hi.
Hi, thank you. It is so good to be here.
Yeah. And
We're delighted.
Yeah, delighted. I just finished the first book in your current series last night and immediately hit the get me the second book. So,
thank you.
Very excited to have you here and talk all things Fae and Romantasy.
Yay, so exciting. One of the things, Amy, that we like to do here on Fiction Fairies is share what's in our chalice to sort of warm us up for the day.
Okay.
So today I have some just a tea bag of Lady Grey tea with some milk and honey, and it's pretty yummy. And How about you, Amy? What do you have today?
Well, I have your perfect match because I have Mr. Earl Grey here.
We're a couple here. Cheers! And no wonder I have the joy mug today because
there you go. This is actually a London fog. Have you ever had that?
Yes, love London fog.
So it's Earl Grey with heavy cream and vanilla syrup.
Oh, yum.
And I have my Create Something Magical unicorn mug.
I love that. Ooh, I
thought would be appropriate.
Perfect.
Gorgeous.
Perfect.
And have you ever had a London fog with lavender syrup in it along with...
Oh. No, but I've heard of it and I am lavender curious. So yes.
Yeah.
I'll have to try it.
Tiptoe into that part of life, it's very lovely. And how about you, Christine? What are you drinking over there?
Well, I have my mom's snowman mug because I am actually in Rhode Island filming today. So I dared to step out of the remote woods of Vermont and came to the suburbs of Rhode Island, where unfortunately there is still snow. So apparently I did not drive far enough south. However, my tea is wild sweet orange, so I got a little tropical in that way. So,
all right,
cheers.
So we can pretend we're, on a tropical beach somewhere. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, normally if I'm on a tropical beach, though, I do want a drink that has an umbrella. But
true. Wait, hold on, hold on. I have the umbrella for you. Here you go.
Oh, look at you! Just happen to have an umbrella on your desk.
Wow.
You never know. You never know what's going to be.
You never know what you'll find in Amanda's purse, in her car, or on her desk.
That was totally unexpected.
That is so fun.
I think it was actually from one of our, I don't know, I think when we did a launch party and we had cocktails, I think I had that. Yes. And I just kept it because it was green and, I like it. So I just kept it on the side. So anyway, off the rails as usual. So our main goal with this podcast, besides going off the rails, as we have become very good at doing, is to meet authors like our friend Amy Patrick and other creative people. We love to go behind the scenes into the writing process, build a whimsical and weird community, which if I do dare say so myself, I think we're exceptional at the weird
absolutely.
part. We highlight the power of play and we find joy in creativity. And on the joy and creativity note, we do want to remind everyone that we are starting the Whimsy Writer Club. We're having a free first session. It's an online group. We're meeting on Zoom. Anyone who has ever thought wow, I really just need some more play in my life, or I like to play with creativity, or I want to dabble in writing or anything like that. Or if you're a professional who, like us, sometimes are this is work. Yeah. Where was the joy? And you want to just kind of, remember why we like to do it and why it's fun. Please join us. You're invited to be weird and creative with us.
Yeah, we'll have a quick little lesson. We'll do some weird and whimsical prompts with some creative time, and you'll have a chance to share if you'd like. And the first Whimsy Writer Club is actually tonight, February 26th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So you have to calculate for your own time zone. Again, as Amanda said, we'll be hosting it on Zoom. And if you subscribe to our Substack, that registration link will go right to your email. Handy dandy nifty right there. Otherwise, the Zoom registration link is also down in the show description. So we really do hope you'll sign up and join us for some whimsical fun.
I am so excited for that.
Yeah.
So hopefully we have some friends join us.
Yeah.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah. Amy, have you done any writers groups, writers clubs?
I have several different writers groups that are just writer friends that I've sort of picked up along the way in different spaces. So I have about 3 Zoom meetings a month it's great because otherwise I'm just here in my house alone.
Yeah,
that's
with my imaginary friends, So we talk about writing itself and also writer businessy things and also personal stuff. We're all friends too. So so one is a bigger group and then there are 2 other smaller groups and
nice.
Keeps you sane.
It does.
Yes.
I feel like those writer groups, it's like the equivalent of like getting together around the water cooler, right? Because we don't have that aspect in the business that we're in. So you kind of have to actively seek that out. To really preserve sanity, you need to hang around with other people who also hear character voices in their heads. I mean,
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some really bad things about the internet, but this is one of the really good ones to be able to be face to face with people. And then sometimes I don't see them in person for a year or more, but I feel like no time has passed when I've seen them. So
it's definitely a good way to stay connected.
Yep.
That's so nice. And it gives you, being able to do things online gives you that opportunity to collect people, like you said, because, you might not live in an area where you have someone with these interests or this profession. So that's awesome. Cool. So diving into joy in today's episode, Christine, how did you invite joy into your life since the last episode?
Well, since the last episode, as I've said, I am visiting family in Rhode Island, so that's been really nice to, we usually stay with my mom, so we've just been, going to like country stores together. We went to a nice little bookshop that opened up nearby that I really wish was here when I lived here for 20 something years. So, just those kind of little things out and about. We might go for lunch today, so the joy will continue. So it's been nice just, walking the dog in the old hood. So things like that. So that's been the joy since last time, just having some time. I mean, I did work also, but just kind of reconnecting and hanging out. It does feel a little bit like being on vacation. So it's been nice. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's great to see Mom.
Yeah. How about you, Amy? What's been a recent joy for you? I can hear my dog barking right now in the background. I don't know if you can hear him.
I don't actually. Oh, I hear it a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. One of the things that I do a lot, it's not new, but it is recent because I try to do it a lot, is the town I live in Rhode Island has a town beach, and it's a great place to watch the sunset. So even when there is snow on the beach and you have to stay in your car, I drive over there generally a few times a week to watch the sunset.
Love that.
And I'm trying my best to get outside and walk and, get a little sunshine, even though it is cold as can be. I'm just like totally bundled up, but I'm trying to just get out there and get some fresh air and walk.
Wonderful.
And I was mentioning to you before we started recording that I have put a bird feeder on the slider in this room, which serves as my office. And it's the kind that will stick to the glass.
Oh.
And it has a viewing hole, I guess. So the birds can't really see me, but I can really see them. And I love just sitting in here and watching the cardinals and the blue jays and all the little ones that I don't know the name of.
Yes, that's wonderful. Nice. That's so fun. You're just like bringing nature right to your space.
Yes, I'm trying to.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like that.
That's so exciting.
How about you, Amanda? Although I know that Amy just brought you joy by saying snow on the beach.
I know.
So
You can laugh. I'm like, okay, don't sing, Amanda.
I saw your face, and I'm like, uh-oh, her Taylor Swift antenna.
The Taylor Swift thing went up.
Yes.
It's going to be in my head the rest of the day. Well, yes, that did bring me joy. So for joy for me this week, actually, I'm under deadline. I have a book due Sunday, but which is joyful in its own ways. But last night so I have a book club that meets at my house every month, which is just one of my favorite things. And in the book club, one of our members' daughter just turned 18, and the thing she wanted more than anything was to have book club on her birthday, and it was supposed to be. And I messed up the dates because I put them on the date we normally have, but I was supposed to move it that month, and I forgot. So her mom is like, "Oh, Amanda, you're in trouble, and it's not even your fault." And I'm like, "Oh no!" So I'm like, "Okay, this 18-year-old wants to hang out with us oldies. Like we're gonna make this happen." So I just kind of put out a call on our Facebook group, like, if anybody can come. We decided to do like a little craft night. So her mom like brought tote bags to decorate, and we got stencils, and it was
nice.
So anyway, a lot of people from the group came, and it was really, really fun. It was very joyful. And then I got, and during book club, I'm usually running around getting everything ready, and then we're having our discussion, so I don't get to connect as well, like, catch up a lot with my friends. So having this was like a laid back kind of thing. So we really got to chat with everybody individually, and my friend whose daughter it was ended up staying till like 2 a.m. or 2:30. I think it was like 2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
So, which is not, we don't usually hang out that late, but it was worth it. It was a lot of fun, and she was just so happy, and I was like, she wants to hang out with us. That's special.
That's so cute. That's so
sweet. It
sweet.
brought me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
It was really sweet. So happy 18th birthday to Amelia.
Oh,
and,
yay. Happy birthday.
Bringing lots of joy. She probably will never ever hear that, but it's out in the universe.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I love that. I mean, to have like the book club feel, and then have this birthday celebration, and that's just a good combo.
And just everybody coming together. It was very last minute, thrown together, and whoever could come came, and like everybody was just so happy to do it, and and it was fun because I'm not a crafty person. I'm a preschool crafty person where you just give them stuff and make a mess, But I'm not really one to like sit down and do crafts, but it was very fun.
So see, it got you to do something different too and find some joy in it. So fantastic.
I got to use my creativity in a different way.
Beautiful, beautiful. So lots of joy to experience. I love it. So our next joy on today's episode is we're going to go into the meadow with author Amy Patrick, which I'm very excited about. So pleased to have you on the Fiction Faeries podcast today. Not only because you're a fabulous author, but because what you write about is fairies, which we love here on Fiction Faeries. Yes. So let's get Amy's
very powerful masculine fairies.
Yes. True. That is true. Yes. So
I'll flutter my wings to that.
Yes. Yeah. And after reading last night, they are very powerful masculine fairies. Yes. I would love to meet both of those crown princes in person.
Yes. Wait for book 2 when
Oh yeah, well, where you left me in book 1, I was like, I need to know. I need to go continue on this journey for sure. So,
binge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited too because it's like a complete series now, right? So I know that the books are like right there available, and I can just feed myself with fairies.
Yes.
So,
I'm excited. It's a complete series too.
Yeah, all that. Yes. That's me.
I completed a complete series.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah,
that's worth celebrating.
Yeah, there is something special about coming to the end of a series, right? I mean, there's that like, oh, all right, great, it's complete, it's done, let's set it aside. But then there's also like, oh, like, what, I want to maybe still be in that world a little bit, Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. Well, book 3 came out and completed the series on February 1st,
right.
So it's still newly completed.
Brand new.
But I did leave a little hook in there because I might want to spin it off.
Yeah.
To another character.
Good news. Very good news. Good news. All right, let's get Amy's bio, and then we'll launch into putting her in the hot seat. So,
in the hot seat.
Yeah. So, Amy Patrick is an award-winning best-selling novelist who writes captivating romantic fantasy, paranormal romance, and romantic urban fantasy novels full of magic, intrigue, and addictive page-turning suspense that'll cause you to miss sleep. And I can testify to that. Absolutely. She's a 2-time finalist for the prestigious Golden Heart Award for Excellence in Young Adult Romance writing, and has received many other writing accolades, including the Maggie Award for Young Adult Romance and the Fire and Ice Award for New Adult Romance. Living in New England, Amy enjoys riding in her car at the beach year-round and sometimes craves the heat and humidity of Mississippi, where she was born and grew up.
It's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. I love that.
Yeah.
Ugh, so excited to have you here, Amy. And I love that you ride in your car, 'cause I do that too. And in fact, I live in Massachusetts, but close to Rhode Island, like right on the border. So a lot of times I drive down to Newport and like there's I can't think of the name of the place, but there's like a parking lot right across the street. You can just like look at the ocean, and it's very inspiring. So
Yeah, on Ocean Avenue, you mean?
it might be,
Yeah, where you can watch the waves.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to be here. I've been watching your podcast, and it is so much fun. And I would normally be nervous doing something like this, but y'all are just so much fun and just so relaxed. And I thought, I don't have to be nervous about this. And,
I don't think you can
all
be
I needed
nervous.
was to get some wings.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I'm set.
I was going to say, the moment you put wings on, it's like the nerves are gone.
Yeah.
Like, just forget
Yeah,
it.
you just can't, you
Yeah.
know, you can't be too serious.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, what's weird about these, I ordered these just for this, and I opened the package, and they smell like mint.
Oh,
I don't
know.
Interesting.
That is-
So I have minty
because
wings.
I thought you were gonna say it had that weird smell. You know, sometimes when you smell things, like
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
first open, they have that really weird smell. It has to air out.
plasticky or something.
Man.
No, they smell amazing. I started
they're
looking around
green.
for the source of the minty smell. I'm like, what is going on? And
It's
I realized
magic.
I have minty wings.
It's fairy magic.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
we know that fairy magic smells like mint. So here you heard it here first, Joylings.
I love.
Now you know.
I'm wishing I had some mint tea.
Yes.
I'm gonna get that after this podcast for sure. So I'm so excited to talk about your latest release, A Crown Splendid and Shattered, book 3 in the Age of Fae Romantasy series. And we talked about how you just like completed that trilogy, which is so awesome. It just came out February 1st. You said right, February 1st.
Yeah, the last
I know
book.
when we were
Yeah.
So when we wanted to have you on, and we were like, oh, she's having a book come out in February. Let's try to get her there. So like we are so glad that you agreed to come and talk to us.
Yeah.
But can you tell us about that book that you just released and the series it's part of for anybody who hasn't read it yet?
Yes. So it's called The Age of... Sorry. That's
that
my
yours?
dog, Dudley.
Hi,
He is doing
Dudley.
his job, scaring off
He is.
the rotund squirrel who enjoys the bird feeder as much or more than the bird.
He's performing an important service.
Yes, he is. He knows his job and he does it well.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called the Age of Fae series, and I took some fun, familiar elements from fairy tales like Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty and Beauty and the Beast, and kind of wove them together in a fresh new way to tell the story of she's a human peasant who lives near the Fae royal city, and her family has fallen on really hard times. Her father has a disability left over from the Fae Human War, and she has two, helpless little stepsisters, and really everything falls on her. So she ends up having to make a bargain with the village earthwife, who the earthwives in my series are kind of the equivalent of witches. They're human, but they're very powerful, and they're really the only hope that the humans have against the very powerful Fae. So but there are always two sides of the coin when you make a deal with an earthwife. So the earthwife agrees to help save her family from starvation, and in exchange, my main character, Raywin, has to attend the Royal Fae Ball and do an unknown task, which she'll find out when she gets there. So her plan is to go, get in, get out, do the job, and avoid the wicked royal family at all costs. So the day of the ball, the earthwife casts a spell to change Raywin's appearance, so she looks like a noble Fae woman. She goes to the ball to perform her task and immediately meets the two Fae princes who, for whatever reason, can't seem to get over her and are highly
Why would they
interested
want
in
to?
her.
Why would they want to get over her?
crazy things happen, and she ends up getting trapped in the Fae Palace for a couple of weeks, hiding in the suite of the Crown Prince, Stellan.
So good. So good.
All those elements that just make you want to like crawl into the book.
Yep. I love your take with the Earth Wife too, because she's like, you know, your fairy godmother, but like evil. You know,
She's her fairy godmother, but she has her own agenda.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and the Earthwives are doing what they feel is best to protect against the overreach of the Fae who rule the land. I have a previous series. It's a 10-book series, and the Earthwives also appear there. And the idea for this series was to go back thousands of years from modern time to show the origin of events that happen in the later book. So the Hidden Saga is taking place in present time, and you see Earthwives, and there are Fae and elves and humans interacting, but it all began with the Age of Fae.
Nice.
Amazing.
Love it. Love it.
So fun to link that together and really get all the lore, like get deep into it. That's just...
It was fun for me. Yeah.
Yes. And that's so important. So, you know, we're talking about like writing romantasy. So obviously there's a heavy romance element in that. How did you get into writing romance?
So everything I had written before had taken place in present time. And I really became kind of, I feel like most romantasy books take place in another world, another realm, not our current place and time. And I kind of surprised myself that I ended up wanting to write that, but I really did want to tell that origin story. And as far as why I write about people who aren't human or beings who aren't human, those are just the stories that continually come to me. I think I really love the idea of conflict and then understanding between people who are from different groups that are really different from each other, particularly if it's looked down upon or forbidden to interact or considered dangerous to interact. So I really love exploring that. So I've done it with vampires and with non-human characters in a dystopian series. And then in this series, there are Fae of different types, but my main characters are usually elves because I was the girl who read the Lord of the Rings series 17 times, you know, no kidding, back to back, you know, up in a tree or wherever I was. I just, and I couldn't afford to buy the books at the time when I was in middle school. So I would just check them out at the library over and over again, one after the other. And they'd be like, oh, here comes Amy again, you know?
Wouldn't it be fun to go back to that library and see if you still have your name in them? You know, it's like, we used to like put the name in when we check things out, you know, in that little card. They probably don't have those cards anymore.
I probably wore those copies out, honestly. And I don't know if Olin Mills was a thing up here in New England, but Olin Mills was like the photography studio where you went and got the family photo with, you know, like everybody's hair is like parted on the side. And, you know, so I got some of those pictures made in middle school, and I had my library books with me, my Lord of the Rings library books.
That's so great.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I feel like this series, some people have described it as if Twilight and the hot elves from Lord of the Rings had a baby. That's what my Hidden Saga series would be.
Nice.
And yeah.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. Well, and I love what you say about like the Earthwives, and you know, I love a motivated villain. If they're a villain, like in somebody's story, maybe they're the villain, but in somebody else's story, they're a hero. And I love that kind of conflict, like where you can really understand why they are doing things, even if you don't agree with their means or whatever. Like, what a fun thing to explore.
Absolutely. And the villain is always the hero in their own story.
Yes.
Right.
And with the Earthwives, they're very necessary to the humans in their world, and they're a thorn in the side of the Fae who want to just run roughshod over the humans with no interference. So they definitely play their part.
Well, and the Earthwives are also like about balance, right? If it's kind of like if she's going to do something good, then maybe something not so good has to happen, so that balance in the universe in terms of magic and energy, right? So
Yeah, yeah. And they try to balance out the power differential between the all-powerful Fae and the humans who are less
yes. Yeah.
powerful in
As a
comparison.
Libra, I approve.
Yeah.
So we sort of, we sort of delved into this a little bit, but is there like, can you think of like what appeals to you specifically about writing a series about like the humans and Fae and the court life? Like what, I mean, there are different angles you could have gone if you just wanted human and Fae, but was there something about court life also that kind of intrigued you or drew you in?
Right. Well, I mean, I love entertainments set in a different time period. I love the whole pomp and circumstance around Bridgerton and Game of Thrones in a way. I mean, those, yeah, it's interesting because it's so different from how we live, and they have really strict social rules and classes and, beautiful clothes.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful castles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to just go live in a completely different, elegant world like that, and also super dangerous in its own way. Yeah.
Get that intrigue.
Yeah.
Get the adrenaline pumping. So where did you draw inspiration from? And I know this is such a hard question because we don't always know where our ideas come from. Sometimes they materialize. But is there anything that you can think that pinpoint, you can pinpoint to say, oh, I remember what inspired me here, or, where the idea came from, that kind of thing?
Yeah. Well, of course, the Age of Fae, was inspired by the previous series because I wanted to tell the origin story. And the previous series began, which is called The Hidden Saga, began when I was visiting my dad's house in Mississippi. He lives in a cabin that he built himself in the middle of the woods. And he's got all these great walking paths in the woods. And just, walking, and there are like dragonflies, and it's really hot, and I can smell the pine needles. And I just was thinking, this feels so magical. And I've always loved the idea of, I guess, a girl meeting a magical guy from just kind of another world and changing her life. So yeah, that was just kind of where the origin came from. And I set it in the little tiny town in Mississippi where I grew up, which had a big secret that it was also the headquarters basically of the light court of the Fae in the modern world, which is hidden. Something that inspired me with this series, so I tend to like love triangles, and this one has a big one. And
love a love triangle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people don't, but I do.
Yes.
As soon as I saw that there were two princes, I'm like, I'm in. I'm sold.
Yes, and they're
Right.
brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I
Up
really,
that
I
conflict.
was a big fan of the Vampire Diaries TV show.
Yes, me too.
And that love triangle, which I thought was really well done and went it back and forth and truly pulled your heart in different directions. I'm not going to do a love triangle if it's just so obvious,
Right.
Yeah.
that why is she even interested in this other guy, so I try to make
Want it
it
to be a tough choice.
really a tough choice. Yeah. So, so, if you're a Damon and Stefan fan, you might enjoy these Fae guys too.
Definitely. Now I have to ask you, were you team Damon or team Stefan?
So I was definitely team Damon. Yeah.
Me too.
I was a Damon girly.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember watching that while I was still teaching, and I had a couple of colleagues that watched it as well. And like right after whatever night it was on, the next day at lunch, like that's all we talked about.
Yeah.
Like a couple of little girls,
Yes.
just that was all we talked about. So yeah.
Yeah. I love the
so-
drama.
Yeah.
I'm a drama queen. Yes.
And I love what you said about walking through the forest and just imagining this, because I feel like since I was a little girl, I've done the same thing. I walk like in a forest and I always think like, the fairies, or what if this happened, or like walking through a magical portal. Like that's always been something in my imagination, and something I love to write about, and something I love to just think about all the time. So I love that that's sort of like a collective experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And when I go to mountainous areas like Vermont or New Hampshire, and you see those waterfalls that create these beautiful pools below, it just doesn't feel completely like a human realm to me.
Yes,
It feels so magical. So
Mhm.
I incorporate a lot of things like that, and it's like, guess what? It is magical,
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
You have to find the magic in every day.
Yeah. I totally agree too with, especially with like waterfalls and moving water on the property. We have that as well where I am in Vermont. And I
wonderful.
felt like the fairy energy there so strongly that my husband and I actually, with a tree stump, we built like a fairy house. And it's like one of my favorite little spots on the property, but it's just so like
fun.
it was almost like we were like compelled to make it, right? That sort
They
of
made you.
They did, yeah.
Like, we want this stuff.
Yeah, we were happy to make it, but it is one of my favorite little, like in the summer, I'll plant some flowers around it. It's just like a cute little area, and it's like it would not surprise me if I saw like little footprints leading up to the door and out. I would not even be shocked. I'd be like, yeah, of course there's a fairy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course
sure.
they're here.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm in Scotland, like I definitely feel fairy because I'm like, this is where they are, and there's like this one particular walking path I love to go on, and it has inspired like, a lot of the work I'm working on now. And I'm just like, this is it. This is where they are. They're telling me to write their story.
Yeah.
So,
And I think if you read a lot of fantasy as a kid, as I did, it just gets embedded in your brain, and you're looking for it,
Yes, and you want to escape
your imagination.
into it. The imagination is so potent, and it really can serve very good purposes for us to, it's fun.
Absolutely.
And
don't you think so much of writing fiction is wish fulfillment?
Absolutely.
I really, like I said, I was just so into those elves in Lord of the Rings, and I really wanted there to be more romance in the story.
Yes, so you brought this into
that.
Yes, you're like, I'm the one to give them their love life.
Yeah.
That's the joy of creativity. Right? We can do anything we want. Yep. And on that note, how do you incorporate like whimsy and playfulness into your books?
Well, of course, there are a lot of life and death serious elements and, major character backstories and wounds and things like that. But I do write a lot of humor into the books. People who read them call them cozy, kind of, although they don't strictly fit the definition of cozy fantasy, but they have a cozy feel.
Makes them feel cozy when they read
and
them.
I think maybe that's just my overall outlook on life is rather bright. Kind of.
Well, I was gonna say you are a cozy, warm person. Like anyone who
I
is
am
in a
a
room
cozy
with you
person,
is
yes.
like that instantly feels like at ease. Like you have that energy about you. So
Yes.
I'm not shocked it translates.
So people say like they feel like they are reading a modern fairy tale. So there's serious subject matter. There are certainly serious dramatic moments, but overall it has kind of a warm, cozy feel. And I always have characters with humorous dialogue, particularly the male characters.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, even just, the fact that your main character, the heroine, attends that ball, and like just the descriptions of like what people are wearing and how it is to be at that ball is very whimsical, I found anyway. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And she's a fish out of water. So,
Yes.
there are a lot of humorous moments with that.
Yeah.
It just puts you right into that of like feeling that that you're there as that person that's the outsider.
Yeah. I mean, your main character too, she's got some like sarcastic thoughts and whatnot too. So like she's got that edge. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, she is not. I mean, in some romantasy, you will find this really tough as nails, kick-ass heroine, and mine is not that. She's got oldest daughter syndrome. She is like responsible for everybody, But she is kind of no nonsense. She's not the too stupid to live character who you're like, what are you doing? I feel like she makes good decisions based on the information she has at the moment, and she's always trying to do the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, that weird face I made was like, oh, another Taylor Swift song because we went to Eldest Daughter.
We should try to see how many we can get in.
I know, just have like the Taylor Swift soundtrack to
I'm doing this accidentally, by the way.
Yeah.
I know. No, that's what's so funny because I find Taylor Swift references in every moment of my life. So it's just
well, she kind of.
I am an eldest daughter, so that's where it came from.
Yes.
Parentified, to a larger degree. So you know
so,
how every one of your characters is a little bit you.
Oh
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm going to get into some questions that are a little more writing focused. So, first of all, what is something you find the most joyful about writing? Like, is there a step in the writing process that you're like, yeah, this is my favorite part, and it brings you joy?
Well, I really love a lot of it. Maybe the most fun for me is I'm a huge plotter. I plot, I'll have a 20-page outline before I actually start writing the book. So I feel like so much of the discovery and excitement and like, yes, fist pump moments are happening when I am creating that outline. It just feels like a puzzle coming together, and it's super exciting. But then also when I'm actually writing and things kind of veer off from that and a better idea occurs to me, it feels kind of like magic,
Right.
So that's super fun too.
Yeah, you kind of described my way of outlining too. I'll have pages and pages of outline, but like you, sometimes the characters decide something else, and then I'm like, okay, I'll go this way. And then a lot of my old outlines I have like written on the top, like this outline is not accurate, to let myself remember that I had veered off. So if I have to go back and reference it is no longer correct. Like that didn't happen. So
I do my outline worksheet in pencil.
Yeah, yes. That's smart.
And I have gone through, let me see if I have gone through so many of these.
Yes.
See, the erasers are flat.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Because I've erased so much, so I have a whole bunch of these, and now they're getting holes in them.
Love it.
One time when I was younger, it was one of my siblings gave me, like when I was like probably in my 20s, gave me one of those giant erasers. It's like the big mistakes.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I need that still.
Yeah.
Perfect. You need clamps on your paper though.
True.
Definitely.
I was like, oh, there's a hole in the plot, and that's just in the paper.
In the paper.
No. Yeah. It's the eraser.
Yeah. Can you tell us about your writing space, like where you write?
Yeah, so it changes from time to time. Like I will use up all of the magic that is in that spot, and I
love that
find
description.
a new one. So I have written many books in the car. I have written many, many books at the town library back in the reference section where all the little signs are up that tell you not to make any noise, So as long as nobody's whispering, I can write there. And the most recent books I've written, my kids have both recently moved out. So I write in my son's room, just at a little desk with a blank wall in front of me, so I can't possibly get distracted. But I do always light a candle, so it's a little cozy. There's a cute little lamp on the desk. I turn that on and I light my candle and.
Oh, nice. That kind of leads into my next question, which was about any rituals or routines to kind of get yourself focused. So it sounds like you like a quiet space and you like a space that's like devoid of distraction, and yet you've got your little whimsical, like, let's light a candle. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know how the people do it who write in coffee shops. I don't know how they do it. I would totally be eavesdropping accidentally, but not able to help myself.
Like, how'd this conversation get in my manuscript?
Yeah, right.
So I have found something that works incredibly well for me that I've done. I'm trying to think, maybe the last 4 books this way. I get up first thing in the morning, go to the potty, brush my teeth, and immediately open the manuscript in my son's room. That's why I started writing at home. Because I had found that if I did anything else, if I looked at a phone, saw any news, checked email or anything, I found it really hard to be able to settle down enough to write.
Yeah.
And, my mind might be upset about things or go off in a bunch of different directions.
Yeah.
So if I do it first thing, and I'm not really a morning person, but whenever I get up, if I do it first thing, I can really sink in and have deep focus, and I can write for 3 hours without stopping. And it really gets the books done. Yeah. And even to the point where I have one of those little electric kettles that, boils the water for you, with my tea bags and my cup and everything upstairs. So I don't even have to go downstairs and see anyone or have any chance of looking at my phone, which I keep downstairs.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
You are a stronger woman than I am.
Yeah, no, that's some great...
I'm really not. I'm weaker. I am weak. That is why I have to do this.
No, 'cause I'm like, if my phone's downstairs, that is one of my goals this year, to like shift away. I even bought an alarm clock. But like the idea of it being downstairs, I'm like, but it's not here in my hand. It's terrible. It's such an addiction.
I know. They are
credit.
addictive.
Yeah. It's cool how, though, like, you know that about yourself, that like you'll get distracted by these things. So then like you're trying to set up the situation in which you can succeed. So that's a lot of self-awareness there. For me, it's I don't really get distracted like visually. I can like ignore that, but like sound does get to me. So like hearing different things. So for me, it's putting in the earbuds and choosing like instrumental music of some kind. And for some reason, like, that just sort of tells my brain like, okay, the outside world doesn't exist right now. It's just you and the music and the manuscript. And sometimes I have to take a few minutes to find the right music, though, because if I don't have the right music, I can sit there like this with my hands just on the keyboard and nothing is happening. And then I'll make a shift to a different kind of music, and then I'm like, oh, all right. And then I'm like ready to go.
There it is.
So yeah,
Nice. Wow.
So,
Cool.
but yeah, kind of tuning out the audio is what does it for me. So, all right, if you could deviate, Amy, from what you normally write, what would your dream writing project be?
I write in two really different genres already, which helps to keep me from getting bored with one.
Yes.
I actually think my dream writing project would be to write a nonfiction book. I read almost exclusively nonfiction. I'm
Really?
a weirdo who does not read a lot of fiction. I don't want to read in my own genres, because I want my books to be unique. I don't want to accidentally duplicate something someone else has done. So, I'm really, really into mindset and manifesting and things like that. And I've been, I started that kind of thing when I was a teenager, but then kind of fell away from it. And then in recent years, I've come back to it, and I just can't ingest enough of that content. And now I feel like I have my own thoughts that I might like to write about it. So I don't know.
I can't wait to read this.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I want to move this dream project to a reality project. So I'm manifesting that because I want to read it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I love books like that as well.
Yeah, I do too. In fact, there have been times too when Amanda, I'm like, oh, I just read this, and she's like, oh, I have that book.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
We've probably read some of the same books.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so this next question: if you wanted to work in the creative field but not be a writer, what is something that you might imagine yourself being? And be warned, Amanda and I looked at your website and we looked at the About Me part. So we know that you're creative in many ways besides writing. We are intrigued. So
so intrigued. Anybody who's listening to this, go to Amy Patrick's website. Look at her About Me. It's fascinating.
It
You're
is.
going to want to know everything about this woman.
Yeah. So
I
you have
all
options.
The creative genes and like none of the organizational ones.
Welcome to my world.
You know how they
Much
say we
to
have
Christine's
two halves of our
chagrin.
brains? I'm like lopsided all the time.
Whimsical, not lopsided. You're just extra whimsical.
Right. That is right. I feel that one's a really easy one to answer. I would absolutely create character art for myself and others. I've drawn all my life, and almost exclusively people. That's just what I am drawn to draw.
I would feel like would be the hardest thing to draw.
I think that you have to draw what you love to draw, and to me it's just most intriguing to draw people's faces and So I'm just fascinated when I go through Instagram and see the character artists and what they're doing, and it just makes me want to do it. It just makes,
Yeah.
yeah. But I feel like I don't have time right now to do it well. I did join one of those use Procreate well courses, how to do all the strokes and things that I know how to do on paper, on an iPad. So I'm slowly working my way through that. So I might get there. I might get there, at least for my own characters.
Yeah, it makes sense to me now why your character of the Crown Prince Stellan was at the rough market doing what he was doing. Now I understand
exactly.
why he went
Yes.
there.
Nice.
I get it.
That
now.
is true.
Drawing those little parallels.
Yeah. All right, final question for me is there something not publicly known that fills your creative bucket? So, I mean, on your website, there were a lot of things that you do creatively that must fill your bucket, but is there something else that just kind of ramps you up creatively?
Deep dark secrets.
Oh. I don't think I have any secrets. I think I might have put it all out there.
All your secrets are in your books. All your characters have secrets.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I do. While I don't read a lot of fiction, I do love watching movies.
Sure.
I could watch a movie every single night. I'm not really into TV shows except for Vampire Diaries back in the day, and a few other exceptional TV shows. Yeah. But I do love to consume story. So, and you know how you just nothing, your subconscious never loses anything. It's all stored in there. And I feel like when I write, things just come up, that, could be, inspired by something I saw. It's like, oh, the way that character's face looked, the way they were feeling, I suddenly remember it, and I can use that. So
cool.
Yeah.
Love it. And it's a lovely excuse to watch more movies.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll always say that whenever I sit down to watch something, I'm like, this is research. Leave me alone. I'm very busy right now. I'm working right now.
Yes. I'm going to do it whether I have an excuse or not.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The fairies said it was okay.
Yes, that's right.
So we talked about the serious things. Now time to go to our off the rails portion of the interview, where
hosted by Amanda.
Yes. Of course, hosted by Amanda, the most author. But hey, I have not fiddled with my lever on my chair. I hope
that's
you
true.
appreciate
Yeah,
it. Last episode we had an incident, but
I saw that.
Okay.
Oh,
Behaving. Yeah. So I want to know, Amy, if you could live in a mythological setting, which would you choose?
Oh, Rivendell.
Okay.
Oh, she was quick with that one.
She knew.
Folks.
She's like, I'm there. She's like, I'm there all the time.
She's already thought about this extensively.
Her bags are packed. And if you had a mythological spirit creature, what would it be?
I had to think about this one. I guess I would say unicorn because I tend to just feel attracted to unicorns and collect them. And I wanted to show you my Unicorn Kisses Polar Seltzer today, which I had in the fridge. I didn't get it just for
that
this.
That is perfect.
Yeah,
I love that.
I like that idea of being unique. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, I'll be friends with a unicorn. If you had a magic wand, which of your heroes or heroines would you make real for a day, and what would you do together?
I think I would choose Nox from My Hidden Saga. He is part of the love triangle, and I think, let's see, what would we do? Is that what you said?
Yeah, what would you do together?
Okay, well, I think I would live some of the experiences that my main character, Ryan, got to live with Nox. Because wish fulfillment again. Yeah. So I would visit his Malibu mansion and spend some time on his beach. And we would have a luscious lunch buffet outside prepared by his chef. And then we would go, I would go see his band perform. His band is called The Hidden. I would see his band perform and be glamored by
Oh my
his
goodness, this sounds like
musical
a
glamour.
Yeah,
what
where
a
do we
rough
sign
day.
up? Yeah.
No, this sounds very torturous. I don't know. I mean, and I know Christine would be in because we talked about dates for like like an ideal Valentine's date or whatever, and like
Yes.
going to a band was
That
on her
was
list,
one of
so
mine. Yeah.
that you can
Sign me up.
So
Yeah.
there you go. Do you have any quirky writing habits, like talking to yourself, dancing in your seat when you get a scene just right, yelling
I
at your
do that one.
characters?
I
do a
I
little
do
seat dance.
that one. And I believe
Nice.
in really good self-talk. So
Yeah.
sometimes if I get a really good idea for a scene, or I write a piece of dialogue and I'm like, yes, I say, I am a creative genius. I tell
I
myself,
love it.
I am a creative
Good
genius.
for you.
I love it.
Wonderful.
Because you get more of what you focus on, you know? And I'm
Yes.
like, why not?
Like,
why
let
not,
those genius things come to me again. You know?
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
but I definitely do like the wiggle dance in my chair, you know, which is another good reason
Nice.
to write alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But I think
Yeah.
you should wear your wings when you're writing now, so
I was
that you
just
can
gonna
like
say
flutter
that.
the wings while you're
Yeah.
doing your wiggle dance.
I might have to, because like that enhances the wiggle, doesn't it?
It
It does. And you can't help but like get a little giggle, so it just amplifies your mood.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So what would your dream writing day be? If it was like outside of your normal routine, like everything was just perfect,
Oh.
what would that look like?
Oh, I think I would be on a tropical beach, just, you know, sitting in a chair under an umbrella with turquoise water and a nice breeze, laptop in my lap.
Someone delivering snacks.
Yes, nice cold drink, nice snacks. Don't have to get up from the chair and go anywhere.
Nice.
Love it.
That sounds
like I'm
dreamy.
right
Look, we all have this like wistful look on our face where we're like, oh, that would be lovely. Yeah.
Take me away. And can you tell us about your next creative project?
So I have to decide. Since my book just came out February 1st, I'm taking a little refractory period. And I have two spin-off ideas, one from the Hidden Saga and one from Age of Fae. And the one from the Hidden Saga is all plotted out, so that's pretty attractive to me. Yeah.
Nice.
You're just gonna kind of go with what pulled you.
Yeah, so it's actually about one of the side characters. It makes her the main character. She's actually, in the Hidden Saga, she's a very young Earthwife. So she's about 13 in the Hidden Saga. So this would age her up into like new adult age range. And
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited
fun
to write
be
her
able to
story.
stay in that world that you love. That's amazing.
Yeah, that is, I like that a lot. And it's so, yeah, staying in that world and staying with the, you know, types of characters that you've developed kind of leads us into our Spirit of Joy topic, which is kind of talking about the popularity of the Fae and elements of romantasy, because that's a genre that's really just exploded more recently, with people just kind of can't get enough of it. And there's so many possibilities there with Fae, and so many different names for Fae, the Fae folk. You've got fairies and elves and sprites and nixies, which is one that Amanda and I had to look up. We were like, nixies, I've heard of
nixies?
pixies, but this is nixies with an N, and nymphs, and even leprechauns are considered under Fae folk, as are hags and banshees. So again, you kind of have that you know, positive and negative balance to even the kinds of Fae, your good and evil, your helpful fairies and your trickster ones, or even your downright evil ones. So there's so much to play with in terms of characters and what you can do with them. And even looking at, you know, old stories of Fae, like as told in Viking myths and Celtic folklore, and considering more modern, like even, you know, Disneyfied kind of Fae. So there's just so much to work with in terms of Fae, and it seems like, you know, people are just ready to consume that or keep consuming that. So
yeah, it is. It's so much fun. As my Hidden Saga went on, I started with elves, but then I added in some other types of Fae characters, because they all exist. They just maybe don't all exist in one area in everyone's consciousness, you know. But yeah, I have a significant storyline with nymphs, which was super fun. And for reasons, other types of Fae are pursuing the nymphs. To use for their own purposes. So so there is some cooperation among different types of Fae. There's some conflict among different types of Fae, and then there's just the humans who are, just it's their world, and we're just living in it. We just don't know it,
No, right. Well, that's another part of it too, exploring like the human knowledge or not having knowledge of the Fae, because you kind of have people that are tapped into like knowing about it, and then you've got the other humans who are completely oblivious. So there's a lot to be able to do with that as well. So
yeah, absolutely. In my Age of Fae series, everybody knows about everybody, and then for reasons, when I move this for reasons, when I move the story forward several thousand years, the humans are completely unaware.
I love exploring that dynamic. Like that's such a fun thing. That's so fun.
Definitely.
And like we were talking about like how we were going to kind of work things into this episode. We were talking about like things like the popularity, like what entices us to be so curious about the Fae. And like all of us have talked about, it's been like a lifelong thing for us, and I'm sure for others too. And like what makes us want to know more about them. So like some of the things we were thinking, it's like, well, there's like this craving for like nature and magic. And I think especially as we get older, we are removed from that. Like when we're children, we're just full of childlike wonder and, like everything is inspired. Everything triggers our imagination, and we grow up and we lose some of that. And so I think being a middle-aged woman, I think I'm so drawn back to a lot of the things that enticed me as a child, and being able to sort of freely play and not feel ashamed. Because like, I feel like when you're getting into adulthood, you're like, I can't have those childlike thoughts and feelings, so you keep them hidden more. And now it's like, we're just all out there,
I feel all cultures, almost, I can't say all cultures. Many cultures worldwide have stories of Fae. They all have their different names for them. I did so much research before I was doing, writing the Hidden Saga and researching all the different types of Fae. And it was amazing how every culture has it. And I think there are things that happen that we can't explain,
so true.
And we look for explanations. And we want to believe in magic. I think things do happen that are unexplainable in human terms, and so they qualify as magic. So, and I think we love Fae because they seem, they're somewhat human seeming, but they're just better.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get to do the cool
so we
things.
can relate to them, but they are more powerful, more beautiful, more scary, they're just these extreme versions of us. And
I love just in your books how you made them the two prince brothers like so tall. Every time I was reading and you talked about how tall they were, I got like a little tingle,
I know.
Tall. They're fairies and they're tall, like, and they're princes and they're royalty on top of it. Like, just keep piling on the good stuff,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I really like big guys,
Yeah, we all do. Yes, absolutely.
But in my story worlds, which are connected, all of the elves are extremely tall, including the women. They're just, I like that. When I went to the movies to see Avatar, I had already written a few books in my Hidden Saga. But of course, Avatar was a little more famous. James Cameron's reach was a little better. And I was like, oh no, people are going to think that I copied this because of the massive home tree and the people living in it and under it and the extremely tall, beautiful, powerful characters,
I think
had some of those same elements, and the whole nature magic and the woods at night.
It's interesting when things like that, because I wonder a lot, like, but do readers sometimes think like, oh, they got this idea from there? And it's like, no, like people have lots of ideas that, you never have to cross paths, but you end up with similar things, like there's just similar elements that go into some people's stories, and it's not because you took them from something, it's just because they coexist.
And a lot of
in
us,
this world of
are
imagination.
inspired by the same ancient fictions.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
like Tolkien got his idea for the Lord of the Rings books by reading the Poetic Edda, you know, and,
Yeah.
you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at a tree, I imagine like what world is happening in this, like in it, around it, through it, you know, like, so that I think that is like a,
Yeah.
you know, maybe
Well,
because we're hitting upon the truth.
Yes.
Maybe.
I have a thing for trees, so
Yeah, me
that,
too.
you know.
You're in the right place.
You are in the right place. You're in the right place.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think too, like, there are so many themes that are, you know, we have only so many themes, right? And so different people writing about different things, at the heart of it, we're still getting to some of these universal themes. So they're going to be present. They're going to be, otherwise we wouldn't have these college courses that we have to take, right?
That's
that
true.
Analyze the themes through literature around the globe, right? Those courses would be non-existent if that did not exist. And the same is true here, you know, with the Fae, in exploring these themes of like power and otherness and nature versus humanity and balance and all of those things. You know, come into play in fairy stories around the world. So,
and like along with that, like exploring like the different moral codes with the Fae versus humanity. Like if we're looking at morals from our human perspective, it might look different when you're in the life of a different being, you know, and like being able to toy with that morality when writing them, I think is so fun because, you know, when you just get to like really broaden the world of the moral compass and, you know, what makes something a certain way.
Exactly, because they grew up differently from us and they were told things by their elders and they have their whole belief systems, and that's what's fun about putting them together with a human person that they're almost forced to care about, because then they have to face, was this right? Was this thing that I was always taught actually true? Is this right? You know? Yeah.
And really, is it at its essence, is it a lot different from what we go through when we're in a relationship with friends or with family or with a partner? We all come from like a different angle of morality wise.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you do have to like work those things. So then to amplify it with like the Fae world and like, I mean, it just takes that to another level. It's so fun to play with.
It is super fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And Amanda and I were talking about how in writing about the Fae, obviously that just the world of Romantasy is such a perfect home for that, because Romantasy explores these other worlds and interactions between Fae and other beings and magical systems and all of that. And so like some of the common elements in Romantasy, you know, lend themselves very well to incorporating the Fae into that. So and the beauty about Romantasy too is it takes all that stuff that we love about fantasy and, you know, adds this romantic element to it. So we've kind of got that nice layer where we're hoping that there's going to be relationships and that, you know, they're going to go through some trials and, you know, hopefully we come to an ending that's happy for everybody. So, you know, taking everything we love about
love in our stories.
But taking everything that we love about fantasy and then adding things that we love about romance to it. It's just the perfect stage for it. So
you get that like ancient, powerful, lush, sensual, like maybe a little dangerous in a way that the human world wouldn't be, you know, but like but you feel you're safe because like you're reading it, but you get to play in that world and experience it and like so cool. So
exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
I mean, and some of the elements of Romantasy that we looked at, now that I read your first book, like you hit a lot of those, you know, your magical systems, your Fae courts, you know, the politics of the Fae, the clear costs and consequences of magic. Your main character is grappling with that. You know, that ancient and powerful kind of tone. And we just said about, you know, kind of always being a little bit on the edge of potential like catastrophe or danger. So
yeah, the high stakes. Excuse me.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, puppy.
Dudley, come here. Come here.
Dudley.
Come say hi.
You say hi.
I can distract him. Hold on.
Quincy
you're
Dudley.
Let us see the precious.
Hi,
What a
Dudley.
cutie.
Oh my
thank you for the
goodness.
kiss.
If you are listening to this podcast, please just go hop on YouTube and look at this dog giving Amy kisses. Oh my
gosh.
goodness. What a
Yeah, he still has his little
sweetheart.
Valentine's kerchief on. He's
Oh,
so
what a
stylish.
Precious.
He's
Good
so
job, Dudley. You're doing a
stylish.
good job with those squirrels.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. What a
Oh,
cutie.
that's wonderful. We should ask Dudley what he
Little
likes
cameo
about
there.
romantasy. I love
Yes.
it.
Does he also read fantasy, romantasy?
He has no choice.
Actually,
Actually, he's more into audiobooks.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am creating audiobooks for the Age of Fae. The Hidden Saga is almost done with the audio.
Nice.
And yeah, so I
Are
hired a male narrator from England. He's British. And he's so good. I listened
can't
to
wait.
the first chapter of A Court Bride and Broken, book 1, yesterday. He's unbelievable. Dudley loved it.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
Nice.
2 paws
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big audiobook fan, so I look forward to that for
I'm excited.
sure.
Cool.
That is very exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So, Amanda, should we move to the how to
I
invite
was just
Fae
gonna
folk
suggest
into
the
your
same.
creative life, and then
Yeah. Because we're big fans of the Fae here, so we thought we would add some whimsy to our Joylings' lives by giving you some steps to invite the Fae folk into your life creatively.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Do you want to
Yeah.
start, Christine? You want me to start? What do you?
Yeah. Why don't you take that? Because I'll take the sprite spell after that.
Oh, okay. So one of the ideas we had was to whimsify your creative space to invite the Fae to play. Because they might want to come in and, they might not want a boring area. They might want a little excitement. Bring nature into your creative space to make the Fae feel comfortable. I think that's what Amy is doing with her bird feeder. She might not know that was her intention quite yet, but that is what's happening. Maybe add some rocks, seashells, pine cones, leaves, sticks, flowers, just like bring it in. In fact, I even still have some like dried flowers here on my desk from way back when Christine and I made our crowns. Leave an offering for the Fae. They can be bribed, correct? Maybe something shiny or sparkling, or a little bowl of something, maybe a little milk, or something like that.
Or vodka, whatever they
Vodka,
like.
maybe some whiskey from Scotland, whatever. Speak to the Fae. I invite you on this creative journey with me. Lend me your whimsy and magic. Let yourself just lean into the creative weirdness. It's just fun, all right? And who knows? They might be listening and waiting for that whimsy. So once you've done these things, try closing your eyes. Be present with the Fae. See if you feel a little presence. You might feel something. Maybe it's your imagination. Maybe it's
not.
real. Don't know. And then, of course, you always must thank the Fae for coming and then dive into your creative project.
Love it.
Those are your steps. I
Those
hope
are your
everybody
steps.
will follow to invite
Very
the Fae.
good.
Yeah. It's not hard. I think some Fae are waiting to be invited in. So
I think so. And if you don't invite them, they might go the morally gray route.
Yes.
And,
we don't want
perhaps
that.
become a little bit of tricksters and steal your pens or something.
Well, I already think you have some Fae in that room that you're in, right? Because you had some things move around in that room together, right? Yeah.
Yes, weird
So,
thing. That'll be
yeah.
like another episode. I'll tell you about that
Yeah.
stuff. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. So another thing that we do on the Fiction Fairies is we have a sprite spell, which is something that we challenge ourselves and our Joylings to do. And the last episode was to seduce your muse. Because it was a Valentine's Day episode, so it was kind of romanticizing your creative spirit. And I did use 2 of our recommendations from that. I slipped into a brand new comfy sweatshirt that was kind of velvety and toasty. It was a little bit of an upscale of my normal writing attire. It definitely felt luxurious to me. And I also played, as I mentioned before, that I like to listen to instrumental music, but I found instrumental Taylor Swift music. And then later I found instrumental hip hop, which was awesome.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Get
kind
the
of.
vibe.
Yeah, it took me back to the like late 80s, 90s, but like it with like violins somehow, and it was wonderful. And they were both great for writing. So how about you, Amanda? Did you do anything to seduce your muse from last
Yeah.
time's Sprite
Well,
Spell?
I have in my office, I have like a desk chair that's like that fake, like that pleather stuff, and it's peeling
Yes.
because I have a humidifier for my dry eyes. So like,
Yeah.
so I treated myself to like I dressed up my chair in like a cover that has
Ooh.
stars on it, and it's, you know, cute and
Love it.
comfortable, so I don't have like stuff sticking to me. So,
Nice.
and then, you know, I have my like lotion for my hands, and, you know, I do have my candle and my diffuser that I can put my essential oils in, and,
Beautiful.
you know, just really invited the muse to come. And I do think the seduction worked because I have been very productive lately. So, how about you, Amy? Do you ever seduce your muse? Is there anything you do to kind of invite it to come play with you?
I think my muse is easy because
Ooh,
when I
nice.
when I put
She's
on
like,
every
I'm ready,
morning to
come.
write,
Yeah.
I sneak out of the bedroom because my husband is still sleeping, and I put on this like furry red zip up onesie. It is so ugly.
Oh, I love that.
But you know, my maybe my muse is kind of a freak. You know, it's into
Maybe that's why your books are cozy, because you're like cozy writing them.
Yes.
And I do have my writing candle, which is literally called Warm and Cozy.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Perfect.
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 Yeah,
That is
Love
perfect.
that.
So the muse shows up. It must be working.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Don't get rid of that red fuzzy onesie.
No. No.
So for our next Sprite spell for this week, for this episode, we invite our joylings to invite the Fae folk into your life using our 6 steps. We will have a graphic linked below in the show description. Thanks to Christine, our organized one.
That's the crown I wear, the organized one.
She makes sure things are where they need to be when they need to be there.
I try my best. I was a little bit chaotic because I'm not in my normal natural wooded setting. I'm in the suburbs here, so I was a little bit off kilter, but I think things still got done that needed to get done. So
Nice.
we'll see how you all did with this new Sprite spell in the next episode. And Joylings, tell us about your progress on any of the Sprite spells in any of the episodes. You can comment wherever you listen or watch the podcast, or DM us on social media. All of our links are below in the show description or on our About tab on our Substack, our Fiction Faeries Substack.
Lovely. And I think that's it for episode 11. So Amy, it was so exciting to have you on episode 11. Like,
Yes.
very cool. It's like a good number. You know?
Yeah. A little angel number there.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love 11. Yes.
Yes. And if you enjoyed the Fiction Fairies podcast, please hit the like button, subscribe, find us on social media, leave a review, and of course, tell everyone about the weird, wonderful fun we have here on the podcast.
Right. And if you're a creative person and want to be a guest on the Fiction Fairy podcast, much like Amy Patrick was today, there is a form in the show description and on our Substack to contact us, and we would love to have you and talk about how you find joy in creativity.
Yes, we love hearing about it.
It was wonderful to be here with you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
So excited to have you. Thank you so much, Amy. And to everybody, don't forget about the Whimsy Writer Club. I'm going to remind you again, happening at when this goes out, it will be tonight, February 26th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So subscribe to our Substack to get the Zoom registration link. To join, or click on the link below in the show description, and we would love to see you there. So please come play with us.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. So once again, thank you, Amy Patrick, for joining us on today's episode. Such a delight to talk. I feel like I could talk about Fae and Romantasy like forever. And
we could have like a 5-hour episode.
Kind of want to talk about the Vampire Diaries with you also, because, so.
And I want to go for a walk with you guys in the woods and like
look for
get
Fae.
crazy with our Fae stuff.
Yeah. Definitely. So it was so lovely to talk to you and get a glimpse into how you find joy in creativity. So Joylings, make sure that you check the show description for links to Amy's website and her social media and her books.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out, definitely. Because I know, like I said, I'm going to be diving into the second book in your new series tonight. I can't wait to see where this all goes. So
And honestly, Amy is just one of these people you really want to get to know. So go check out her
Yes.
website,
Aw.
read her stuff about me. So fun.
yes.
And I've known you for a little while, but I definitely learned
I
things
feel
about
the
you
same about
on
you.
there. So I just love that. So, and now we will leave you all with the Glimmer Challenge. I have my magic wand out here of asking you to find and spread joy today. So farewell, joylings.
Farewell, Joylings. See you next time on the Fiction Fairies Podcast. Bye.
Woo, bye.